Hello everybody, Coach Isaac here. Today, we're going to be learning one of our alpha free run moves, the cartwheel. I'm sure many of you have heard of the cartwheel before. We love practicing this one at Risky Kids, and there's lots of different ways we can do it. We can do it really straight on, like a gymnastics cartwheel, or we can do more of a sideways one as well, and have a lot of fun with it. And what's really cool about the cartwheel is once we start to master it and level up ourselves, we can learn things like the butterfly kick in Delta, or go even further upside down with the aerial in Ultra. So there's some really cool moves that this can help us learn later on too. So let's have some fun learning the cartwheel. Now, when we're practicing our cartwheel, there's a few things to be aware of. The first one, we need a lot of space to practice. We're kicking our legs up and around. We don't want to be landing or kicking anyone or anything around us. Secondly, we're putting a bit of pressure on our wrists, just like our scoot move as well. So if our wrists are getting a bit sore, give them a bit of a shake out, quick rest before we try again. And one final thing as well, if we're still trying to get the hang of the cartwheel, we're not going all the way over yet, use something like a side roll or a butt spin if we're falling over to help us. So we can butt spin out, or we can even try and use our side roll as well. That's gonna really help you keep safe while you're learning the cartwheel. So to do the cartwheel, I like to learn it using my turn vault. If you haven't already seen the turn vault video, go watch it up here and then come back and learn this. What we're gonna do is we're gonna find a little bit of a low platform or box, and we're gonna start by doing our turn vaults with our feet apart. So our kicking turn vaults here, like a cartwheel. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna practice that a bunch. We're gonna get our obstacle standing sideways to it, turning our hands sideways, and getting a nice big kick over it. Now some tips for our cartwheel while we're doing this. First off, we want to keep our arms nice and strong and straight. If we bend our arms, we're going to crash down to the floor. So strong arms pressing the whole world down below you. Secondly, we want to keep our eyes on our hands the whole time. If we turn and look at the roof, watch what's going to happen. If I look at the roof while I'm in my cartwheel, I can't see where I'm going to land. So eyes on the floor the whole time. Watch where I'm looking at my hands the whole time. And thirdly, to get a nice bit of power for our cartwheel, as we lean down and almost do our turn vault over the platform or cartwheel on the floor, use this back leg here to get a nice big kick up behind us. And that's gonna get you a lot more power to land on your foot. So we're trying to do a big kick and then get that foot underneath you nice and fast to land. So those are some tips for the cartwheel: strong arms, eyes on the floor, big kick with the back leg, and use that turn vault to help you. Once you're getting confident doing your turn vault version over a low platform or box, all we're gonna do is try it on the floor now. Imagine the box is there, leaning down, turning our hands sideways, big turn vault cartwheel on the floor, and you've got yourself cartwheel. So that's how to do it, and we'll give you some challenges in a moment as well. To get your cartwheel at a safe level, we're just gonna practice our turn vault one over something low, like a box or platform, and try and get our turn vault version of it, landing with our feet together. As long as we're not falling over and we're able to land on our feet each time, I reckon that's a good, safe cartwheel. If we're trying to make our cartwheel even stronger, working towards our power-ups, we're gonna try and start getting a bigger kick as we go over, also being able to do it on the floor instead of our turn vault version, and landing with one foot before we land the second foot to make it a little bit smoother too. And for any other ways to make it stronger, talk to your coach, make some combos with it, or try it on both sides of your body as well, going both directions. So there's some ideas for your safe and strong cartwheels. Some common mistakes that you might encounter while practicing the cartwheel are some of the things I mentioned earlier, like bending your arms when you do your cartwheel, which means you're going to crash down to the floor, or looking over your shoulder towards the roof and going over the top. That's not going to help either. Or it also might be just going too slowly into your cartwheel. We're leaning down and we're trying to do a jump, and it means we don't go very high up. So really try and get that speed into it too. So go back to those tips I gave you earlier. That's going to help you a lot. A mindset that can be a really good one to use while practicing your cartwheel is your practice makes possible mindset. The cartwheel takes a lot of practice. I remember when I was a Risky Kids age and I was struggling really hard with it, and it was just practice that helped me get better at it. And by teaching other people as well, I eventually was able to learn it on my opposite side, which I found super hard. So by practicing, we can get better. We don't have to be perfect at it straight away. Let's just try and ask our coach for little ways to get better and better each time we're trying it. For some challenges with your cartwheel at Risky Kids, ask your coach if you've got some mats free and you can set them up to create a bit of an alleyway. And we're gonna try and cartwheel down through the alleyway, trying not to touch the mats. So we're gonna try and go really high up with our legs, trying not to touch the mats. A little bit of a harder one, because we've got to try and get a lot of power and aim our cartwheel really well. But you can also have a bit of fun with this. If you hit the mats at any point, you can have a bit of fun falling over as well and have a laugh with your coach or your friends. Now for a challenge at home, I want you to practice trying it on some different types of surfaces. So for example, at Risky Kids, we've got some soft mats and things, but this isn't gonna help us get really strong at our moves. We're gonna try it on lots of different things. So if there's stuff like tan bark at the local park, try it on some grass as well, even on some concrete while you're getting better. So try some different surfaces with your cartwheels to help get your hands a lot tougher and you a lot more confident with your moves. So that is our awesome Alpha free run move, the cartwheel. Really fun one for going up and over your head, getting a bit more upside down and getting you ready as well to do some bigger moves like your butterfly kick or your aerial later on in Risky Kids as well. And also it's a really fun one to put some combos in. So we hope you enjoyed practicing this one this week. Have a go at some challenges that we gave you and we'll see you guys in the next video. Risky Kids rule.